My God, Becky.
Can Miss Becky please raise her hand, bro?
You better call Becky with the good hair.
Yo, what's good? It's your girl Becky, and yes, I do have good hair. What's good hair? Yo, I can't even say that anymore. But also known as Becky the Poet. Welcome to my podcast, Unspoken Words Podcast. So, you guys, honestly, 2019 just happened. It's happening now. For 2019, I just ask everybody to hype everybody up, support everybody, network, do what you got to do, show love, because you don't want to walk into the year being that hater, being that person that you don't support your friends. You just want to start off right. And so today we have a special guest.
What's good, y'all? Cameron with the nappy hair. Co-founder and director of Black Canvas, music editor for Cosign Magazine, and your girl's favorite keyboard player.
Yay. So I talked to a lot of poets about Black Canvas, and so not everybody has heard about Black Canvas yet. So tell them, what is Black Canvas?
I'm not doing my job right then. Well, pretty much Black Canvas is a creative space for artists of color, because there aren't a lot of safe spaces for us to perform. So we created that. Where every second and fourth Thursday of the month. Our tagline is where Thursdays are cooler than the weekends. We have our 2-year anniversary coming up in February. It's going to be dope. Our house band, Groovy Tunes, is going to give you a nice show. Our host with the most, Kev, Lil Kev, we like to call him, is going to give you a good show too. It's going to have amazing talent, good food. Come out. It's going to be dope.
I think he's going to be mad because you called him Little Kev.
That's his nickname, Lil Kev. That's
I thought it was like Scrappy or something when I first talked to him. Like the very first time, I was like, how'd you get this name? He's like, I don't remember what he said, but I was like, Scrappy from like Scooby-Doo.
It probably isn't appropriate for this podcast.
I don't want to know. I don't want to know. So you said Black Canvas for people of color, right? So people who aren't of color, could they still perform?
For sure, yeah, most definitely. It's we're welcoming of everyone. Mm-hmm. It's just because there aren't spaces that are welcoming of us per se.
True.
We created that, so everyone's welcome, but specifically it's for artists of color to come and create, because there's not a lot of safe spaces for us to create.
Right, and I like that, because there's other open mics that I've been to, right, and some of them. Like, for example, there was one, I don't remember, but you could tell it was like a certain crowd, right? And sometimes as a newcomer coming into different open mics, mm-hmm. I think it's nerve-wracking, because it's like, well, one, I'm not Black, right?
Right.
So, like, it's like, I'm Asian. So it's like coming into an open mic, like, for club people, or like, let's say, like, if you go to a LBGT open mic and you're not one of those at all. So, like, I think one of the things is, like, I appreciate you guys for opening that to everybody, because one thing is, I know for you guys in the Black culture, like, it's hard. People out there, there's, like, a lot of negativity out there. And sometimes, like, having people in one room, like, it's never a good look sometimes. Like, what are you guys doing? Are you guys doing something bad?
Right.
And so it's nice to have a place where people can just enjoy the art, entertain, and everybody be, like, cordial and no problems from the outside world. Mm-hmm. And that's pretty dope, because even in our culture, like, in the, like, Asian culture, like, we're racist towards, like, skin color too. Like, me, like, I'm dark skinned in my family, and they make jokes all the time, because I'm not, like, yellow.
Yeah.
So, like, I mean, it runs in, like, different cultures, honestly.
There's a whole diaspora of it.
Right. I mean, I just heard the other day, this other podcaster, she was talking about how in Thailand they were arresting people of color. I was like, dang, Thailand people, they racist too?
I've heard they're super racist.
I was like, that's crazy. But transitioning from being free at Black Canvas, and charging $5, how has that transition been?
Well, on the record and off the record, I've always wanted to charge for Black Canvas.
Right.
But there were some internal, disagreements. So we wanted to kind of ride it out, see if it was see if there was something that we should have done, but it just got more and more rowdy, and it was kind of harder to control the crowd because a lot of the crowd wasn't there for the purpose. And so when we finally started charging, I'm not going to lie, I was nervous. A lot of people said that we shouldn't charge. A lot of people said it's not going to be successful if we charge, but people have still been coming out. So just to have people people that are there that support Black Canvas and love Black Canvas as much as we do, because when I tell you, it was hard. Like, starting Black Canvas with Princess, like, Princess will tell you, like, we went through hell and high water to make sure that Black Canvas was, that it kept going. Because I remember back, if you've ever been to Black Canvas, it's pretty packed out every time that you go. But it was a time where it was empty, and we had to pay people out of pocket because the bar didn't make any money, and they couldn't pay the bands. Like, it was some times where we had to, like, come out of pocket for stuff. So it was rough, but it's definitely, it makes you appreciate where Black Canvas is now, and people are, I had a friend actually show up to Black Canvas after it ended, and he came just to give us, the $5 admission. Mm-hmm. So that was dope. Like, that really meant a lot to me. So appreciate to my guy Austin. Appreciate you for doing that.
So what do you guys plan on doing, since you guys are charging now for the future events? What do you guys are planning on doing with, like, the profit you guys made, bringing in, like, special guests, like, or hosting bigger events, or making, because I know you guys used to have merch, Yeah,
we did. It kind of took on a life of its own, and then we kind of had to kind of dial it back because it was hard to keep up with all the people that wanted shirts.
Right.
But definitely, the money that we do raise is going back into making Black Canvas better.
Yeah.
We're going to start being able to bring in feature poets. Because at first we used to have a feature poet every time, just to kind of build up the credibility, because you kind of have to establish yourself as a credible open mic night, so people who are good poets and good talent wants to come perform at your location. So it's a science behind it. Like, open mic nights come a dime a dozen, but to have one where the chemistry's there and the energy's there and the talent's there, that's a whole nother different, there's a whole different ball game that you kind of have to play with until you find the right formula. But bring in feature poets that we can actually pay. Now that we're able to cover our expenses without paying out of pocket, we're able to, pay the DJ and pay the band and all that. We can, now that we have extra money to bring in feature poets, featured artists, featured guests, maybe even fly, well-known poets out. To give you guys an even better show. So it's definitely, we're going to start planning here the 2-year anniversary, and we've got some dope stuff coming your way. It's going to be amazing.
So do you guys only just have poets, or is it also, like, different people, like artistry, like, let's say music artists, singers, people who could display their artwork?
We used to have featured artists that showed their artwork and displayed their artwork and sold their artwork, but it got too problematic with the venue that we had. The first venue that we had, Kemet Kitchen, it was easier because it was more kind of spread out.
Right.
But this one, the island spot, is kind of harder to do that at.
So no room.
Yeah,
right.
it's really not any room to do that. So we tried it. People, we brought in vendors, we brought in Black-owned businesses to kind of sell their merch, which was dope. But it got too much of a hassle with the space and people. All the people that was there, there really wasn't a place to put them. So hopefully we can bring that back. And hopefully bring back, but to answer your question, I've pretty much seen it all. We saw someone do a DJ set, like a freestyle DJ set.
Him, yeah.
We saw people. I've seen people act.
A violinist.
I've seen a violinist. Shout out to Gabby. I've seen pretty much everything. Comedians come in, tell jokes. Like, I've seen it all.
So it's not just for poets, you guys. It's for literally everybody. Anybody, you got talent, you got something you want to show off, go ahead and give it a shot. They
actually, Groovy Tunes, our house band, invented trap jazz, which I had never heard of before in my life, but they do it. They do what they invented it. If it's been invented somewhere else, I haven't heard of it, but they do trap jazz. They might as well get that trademark. So I think
right. So do you have plans for making or possibly finding your own space? Like, how do you feel about that?
It's in the works. It's in talks. We'll have to see.
I feel like you guys deserve your own space.
It'll be dope. It'll definitely be dope.
I feel like you guys are growing.
Yeah.
From Kemet Kitchen, and especially when y'all moved to the island spot. I don't know if that's just the location or what, but it was pretty lit.
Yeah.
It's still always pretty lit. Like, you know. So what are your plans for Black Canvas in 2019?
Just to establish Black Canvas as a cultural hub, which I think we've done a great job of doing. But I just want the fact that you had said there's people that still don't know about Black Canvas means that we still need to go harder, and it's still work that we have to do. So I guess my plans for Black Canvas is to make sure that everyone knows about Black Canvas.
Right. Yeah, because I mean, these are like poets who perform out like usually out in Fort Worth, usually, and they're kind of in like I wouldn't say hippie. Well, I just say like just a different crowd.
Okay.
You know, so I'll attend their open mics, and you know, like I always say like Black Canvas. I always love you guys at open mic. Feel comfortable there, enough to be nervous, enough to make mistakes, enough to just be there and just like read poems that like maybe I wouldn't read at like this other open mic, because I feel like you build a relationship with your crowd, and sometimes if you perform more than once, you like, you know that they're able to handle what you're about to bring to the table. Yeah. And that's one thing I like. You know, it's like it's turned into like when you go there often, if you're a regular, you build friends. Yeah. You know? So every time I see Calvin, Todd, or everybody always like saying hi, saying what's up, always saying hi to you guys, you know. So you build a relationship, and that's what like people want, to be comfortable, like a home. Yeah. You know?
I really do feel like we're a family. Like I really feel like we're a big, huge family, because the the diehard Black Canvas folks, they've been there like through thick and thin. Like when we literally had nothing at Comet Kitchen, like we had no air conditioning. It was hard to find a parking spot. You had to pay to park.
Meters, man.
It was, and just to see everyone stick with us through the island spot, it means a whole lot.
Right. Well, you got better food now. That's what's driving people.
Yeah.
So you also work for Cosign.
I do. Shout out to the Cosign team.
So I asked KG this, you know, and Cosign in Dallas, I would say, is a big step. Like, I feel like you hopped into like a celebrity world in Dallas, right? Now KG's gonna be like, "No, man, that's not true," and I know you probably feel the same too. And the reason why I say that is because, what is your response to like people who come up to you, be like, "Hey Cam, can you do me a favor? Or can you slide me to this event? Can you like, you know, can you give me a ticket here?" Or you know, and I know like you have genuine friends, but I know we also have some people who are trying, you know? So how do you deal with it?
You just gotta take it as it comes, really. Right. I mean, I wouldn't think that would be an issue, but it kind of is sometimes, especially when, I don't know. For me, I don't need to be in the front. I've never needed to be in the front, so I'd rather other people kind of like experience that, and I'd rather be the person that was able to make that happen. Right. But and then a lot of people know that about me, and they kind of try to take advantage of that. But it's, I mean, I've definitely got more comfortable saying no to people since I became a part of Cosign and being able to like flex my creative muscle. But I would say that like being a part of Cosign has helped me be more comfortable with saying no, because at first I had a huge problem with saying no to people. So that definitely has become something that I'm more comfortable with.
That's really cool, because even for when I hosted Snap, you know, I was worried about people coming at me like $5 for your event, for real, bro. Like, and it was just one of these. I even had some friends who came to the door, and I think they didn't buy the ticket online, but like they didn't expect it to be $5, you know. And I was like, but that's why I don't sit at the door, because if it was me at the door, I always tell my team this: someone else has to sit at the door, because if I sit there, oh, you can come in, like, it's cool, like you ain't gotta worry about it. And
but you gotta know, but you know that about yourself, though, so that's like, good. Like you gotta know your strengths and your weaknesses.
Yeah, I don't sit at the door. Even right now for Unspoken Showcase, I have these poets, and I told them like give me their email so I can send them the ticket, because the thing about me is that like if I do have to be at the door, like I can't handle pressure. And, like, for something like confrontation, pressure, like, I just, like, can't do it. So, like, I try to avoid it. So, I was like, yeah, like, bro, you're not on the list, but it's okay. Maybe it was a mistake. You know what I mean? And, like, I have to, like, that's why, like, there's certain people on my team, they're meant to be, like, the structural, like, like,
it's just business,
right, like. Yeah. Because I can't do it.
Gotcha. Well, that should be a goal for 2019, then.
Right. Saying no. It's hard. So, walking to 2019, did you participate in national goal writing?
I did. I wrote it down mentally. Right. I didn't post it because I'm gonna try this new thing where I'm not gonna speak on my goals until after they manifested. Yes. So that's
always good, because you always worry about people who try to tear you down or even just like negative issues in the environment, just be like, all right, so Cam wants to do this. Let's go ahead and throw tests at him.
That's real. Like people can't shoot your dreams down if they don't know what they are. So.
Yeah. So, you know, Marcus Gilmore's plan is to set your goals, prepare, and strategize, right? Mm-hmm. So after you do all that, I feel the next step is to execute, right? So you don't have to be specific about it, but how will you execute some of your goals? Or what is going to help you?
What's going to help me?
Yeah.
Genuine relationships. I'm huge on building genuine relationships. And that's one thing that was kind of hard for me when I first moved to Dallas because I care about people, care too much sometimes about people. And I'm real big on genuine, like, friendships, genuine relationships. I've never been the kind of person that just was like, oh, I'm going to be friends with this person because they do this.
Right.
Or I'm friends with this person because they do that.
Right.
Like, I'm all about mutual benefits. I'm all about us being friends first, or us being like building a genuine relationship first, and then saying, okay, well, I do this and you do this.
Right.
Can we get something going?
Yeah. Okay.
So I'm all
like
about
building like a team sort of. Yeah.
And it's all about, like, I think people network the wrong way. Like, people kind of network trying to see what someone can do for them instead of actually seeing the person.
That's true.
So I think when you see the person, and you kind of try to build a relationship with that person and it's genuine, then you don't have to work so hard to get someone to like kind of like help you when you need help.
Right.
Because they're going to want to help you because
that is true.
Their relationship's there.
Right.
So I think to help, you know, kind of build on my goals, because I built a lot of relationships and a lot of connections with people throughout my tenure of doing Black Canvas and, you know, doing Cosign, that it's time for me to, you know, kind of act on those.
Yeah. That's really good. So I asked you all pretty much what you do behind the scenes and stuff. Lately, how has everything been outside of work, Black Canvas, Cosign? I'm talking about like mental stuff.
I say this is probably the best mental space I've been in a while, because I used to be so worried about, you know, proving myself, and I have to do this. I have to do this to, you know, I was more worried about looking successful than actually, you know, being happy. So in 2018, I was like, you know what? Forget all that. I'm going to just do what I want to do, create what I want to create, go in the direction that I want to go in. And that's when things really started to kind of take off for me.
Right.
So like everyone's kind of like, oh, you done all this in just a year. I was like, all you got to do is really kind of just change your mind frame, really.
True.
Change your mind frame and change kind of your environment too. So
So do you believe in like the whole sponge method? Like, you are who you surround yourself, or kind of is that the right? I'm not sure.
I believe in that somewhat. I believe that you're responsible with definitely you're responsible with what you soak up. And if people around you aren't benefiting you, then maybe it's time to kind of box them away.
So your love for music has driven you to everything, to Black Canvas, to be music editor of Cosign. When did that all started?
As far as my love for music, or as far as like
Your
how
love for
music
music.
led me to this?
Like your love for music. Because I know I was reading your Voyage interview, and you started because of playing an instrument?
Oh, yeah. Well, I started, I'm short. I've been short my whole life. I'm unathletic. I was never good at sports. So growing up, I didn't know what I was good at. So, like, my dad enrolled me in football. I wasn't good at that. I did basketball. I wasn't good at that. Like, I wasn't good at sports. Then one day, my mom sat me in front of the piano, and I was like, oh, I kind of like this. This is when I was, like, 10.
Okay.
So, I've been pretty much doing music since I was 10, and every year I would add another instrument. So, I went piano first when I was 10. Then next it was the clarinet. Then next it was the saxophone. Then next it was so on and so forth. So
what was your favorite instrument? I think it's
the piano.
Okay,
the piano for sure is mine. It used to be the saxophone. I used to love the saxophone, but now the piano definitely is my favorite instrument because there's so much you can do with it. It's so much sounds and so much colors you can make with it. And it's my first one,
right?
So you're always gonna love your first one first.
True.
But yeah, I played 5 instruments. Heavily involved in music. I actually majored in music composition when I went to college.
Wow. You got a degree in that?
No, I changed my major.
Yeah.
Changed my major to pharmacy. But I know, super random, but long story about that. But yeah, I was doing pharmacy, and then I missed music so bad. Like, I missed it so bad. And then I just kind of just started to slowly get back into it. It's like riding a bike. You never really forget how to do it. So I played in a band in Kansas City called The Truth. I was with them for 4 years while I was in pharmacy school. And then when I moved to Dallas, kind of tried to maneuver around the music scene. But the music scene in Dallas is dope, but it's very exclusive. Like, you kind of have to know people that know people that know people that know people. So I tried to network. People really wasn't kind of messing with me a little bit. So I just let me just make my own way. So I had my own band. My band will be 3 years old this year. Wow. Black Renaissance. Shout out to y'all.
And everybody can book you, right?
Anybody can book us. We do it all. We do weddings, bar mitzvahs, divorce parties. You name it, we do it all. Those are our thing, though. Divorce parties are our thing.
I guess.
So I did that. And then I did the open mic night, started Black Canvas. I was unemployed, lost my pharmacist job. So I was booking and a lot of gigs, playing everywhere with my band. And then I saw that there was a music editor position open for Cosign, applied for that, got it. And then I got a pharmacist job after that. So it kind of just full circle.
Wow. That's amazing. So we're going to take a little quick break real quick. And hello? I think it's recording, y'all. We back.
We bike.
Okay. So you mentioned you were a pharmacist, and I feel like I do have a question personally for myself and maybe anybody else who's headed on this path. 2018, I accomplished my poetry goals, my podcasting goals, did all that. Spent the whole year doing that. Made excuses to not do this, not do that, not to do that. So last episode, I was talking about the structural things that I didn't accomplish, like my personal training certification, my GRE, applying to physical therapy school. And the main thing that I talked to my friends about in the past was that you can't do both. Poetry is like a creative path, and physical therapy is like just a career, right? But I also do believe that if your 9 to 5 compare what you do on the side, then I think it's okay, because I mean, for example, you're still going to events, you still do, you do all this creative stuff, and you still have a structural path, So how does that work for you, or how did you manage that?
I wish I had an answer for you for that. I'm really just kind of
going with the
flow, really. It got to the point where my other stuff kind of kept me sane, because being in the healthcare industry is so stressful. It wears you out. It drains you, and you have to have something. If you're in the healthcare industry and you don't have any hobbies or things you do on the side, you will go crazy. Like, you will literally go insane. Right. So, honestly, I got back into music in Dallas when pharmacy was driving me crazy. So I was like, what did I do to kind of calm my nerves? Music. Right. So that's why. That's kind of where it stemmed from.
So how'd you go through pharmacy school then?
What do you mean?
Because how you went through pharmacy school, and supposedly pharmacy school isn't the most stressful thing you can go through.
It was up there. I mean, definitely had a stressful. It was a long 4 years. I'll tell you that much. Music really kept me sane. I would go. Shout out to Soul Sessions. There was a program that Black Canvas is kind of based off of from Kansas City called Soul Sessions, and it was every Monday. And I used to go there and play with the band Truth, and that would kind of relieve my tensions and relieve my stresses. And yeah, music kind of got me through.
That's good.
Pharmacy school definitely is stressful. I just wish I was as passionate about it as I used to be. But kind of just to go back on your initial question of how do you manage both, I don't know. Because I don't know.
That's real.
I really don't know how much longer I'm going to be able to do both.
Right.
I really kind of do feel like eventually you kind of have to choose. And I feel like I'm getting pushed. Every year I get pushed further and further to the other side.
I feel like creative wise, even now, I'm comfortable at my job right now. Headed towards financially getting stable, so slowly paying off some debt, and just my poetry, my podcasting, I feel comfortable doing it, and I enjoy it a lot. But I think for me is that I haven't even tried physical therapy school yet, or even went through it. And the one thing is I don't want to waste time, I don't want to waste money, and then come out and be I really want to do this, I'll
tell you from experience, if you have any doubt in your mind, don't do it.
Yeah.
because when I was going through pharmacy school, I was thinking more about getting through and getting done than what I was going to do afterwards. And now I'm kind of just going through life like, oh my God, I don't know how much longer I can do this.
Right.
So if there's that might not be the best advice to give you, but
it's real. It's real.
If there's any doubt, any shadow of a doubt in your mind that this might not be something that you want to do, and that probably isn't something that you need to do.
Yeah, because I know for a fact, like, I plan on getting my personal training certification just so, like, if all else fails in life, like, this is what I like to do. You know, I'll do on the side, right? So I'll work out people, boot camps or whatever, or work at a gym or whatever. But I think physical therapy is a whole different path compared to personal training and poetry podcasting, you know? So, but the only thing is like, maybe in 2019 I'll figure out how to make an income coming in with like my podcasting poetry. But for now, I think like my theory is that like if it's not like, because it's not a job to me, I enjoy it more. Yeah. And because I don't have to wake up and do this every morning to make a living off of it, like I enjoy it a lot more. And don't get me wrong, anything like I work at a gym / kind of with a hospital and work with like older people, and I love helping people, you know, especially like hearing like people's story and all this stuff. Like I enjoy doing that too, but eventually I probably will like run into like, if I do commit to physical therapy, get through it, and then like graduate and become a physical therapist, I feel like I probably will like run into your situation too. Like I don't know if I gotta choose, you know, because there's some things in life like you can't do forever, like, you know, and people make it work for the time being, but sometimes life takes you in a different direction.
For sure.
So you guys, we do have a feature poet. His name is Joe Henkel. He will be featured on the audio version. So if you watch the video version, you won't see or hear. We are on episode 27. So my plan for this podcast is to record season 3 all the way through, and then walk into season 4, take a break before I hop into season 4 because my showcasing is coming up February 1st.
Y'all should go. Make sure you're there.
While I am focusing on financially getting stable, I will be committing to studying for my personal training and actually committing to physical therapy school. So I'll be like MIA for like a month, but I'll be recording, so that will catch me up. So I don't have to like record every week. I can just drop, and you know. So that's what it is, you guys. So if you guys want to be featured on a show, I have a website now. Go to Becky the Poet, fill out the form. There's some merch there. I finally uploaded all the merch, took some new pictures. In season 4, I will bring back Poet to the show. I was trying something new in season 3, so I know Poet's been asking. Also, that's pretty much it. Anything for Black Canvas coming up? Your 2-year anniversary?
Our 2-year anniversary is coming up. Very excited about it. In February. Also, my birthday's coming up.
Oh, yeah.
February. So it's going to be...
He's not
Black Canvas was born, and I was born in February. So February is an amazing month. Everyone should love February.
And where can they find you? What's your social media platform?
Follow me. My personal account is at Illumindaji. That is ILLUMINDAJI. Funny story behind Illuminati. So my name's Cameron Tendaji, and I used to be obsessed with the Illuminati. Like, you remember when everyone's obsessed with the Illuminati, right?
The pyramids.
Like, the pyramids and the
3.
That was me. That was me. So they used to joke and call me Illumindaji. So Illuminati and Tendaji.
You're a conspiracy guy?
I still kind of am, but I'm a little bit more logical now.
Okay.
But yeah, follow Cosign Mag at Cosign Mag at Instagram, and then Black Canvas on Instagram at Dallas Black Canvas.
Oh yeah, and if you guys want to meet Cameron, he'll be at the showcase. He'll be at Black Canvas next Thursday.
I'll be there.
And network with him. Come do an open mic. He's a cool guy. Just talk to him. And
I try to be.
And he likes anime, is what I heard.
I do love anime. I just finished watching Assassination Classroom. That show is amazing. Really sad ending, though, but it was good.
My last anime I ever watched was Bleach. And
Bleach is a good one.
When that came on Cartoon Network, I was like, okay, it's done for. I can't watch it anymore. All right, y'all, we out.
Peace.